Hello, welcome to this YouTube page. My name is Grace. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you're new to the channel, make sure you check out all the other videos I have done. There's a lot of different topics that we go over on this page. This is a new series that I'm making all about how to do energy work on yourself. It's going to be self-guided. I am showing and describing tools and how I have gotten to the point that I am at. I will share, the teachers I have worked with, the tools that have been very expansive for me and my self-healing and my energy work on self, as well as the things that are very popular in the spiritual community but never actually served me in my expedition and in my healing journey. So yeah, I'm so excited to have you here with me today. All of the topics that we're going to be talking about, I'm not going to go too in depth into them because I want to make sure that this video isn't very long. Like, I'm ranging between hopefully 40 minutes ish. But some of these tools, we can dive into them deeper if people really resonate with them and want to know more about them. And as well, I do consider myself a teacher to some. I am also a student of God and Source and learning constantly within my own journey. I do connect very deeply with the Christos, with Christ Sophia, with Ascended Mastery, with, being in control of our reality at all times. I believe that we can heal anything that enters our field that we do not want to be a part of. I believe that that is our choice, and I believe that that is something that we can alchemize. I have experienced that in my own life, and I have experienced that with other people, and I know that to be a truth in my reality. I also work deeply with shamanism, quantum work, light work, energy work, which is what this video is about. So that's just a little bit about me and my work. You can also check that out in my website, creationalcodes.com. So let's get into it. Just allow yourself to absorb what serves you. Some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about, some people like to have like a slight overview of what we're going to be working on in this video. So the topics that I'm going to dive into today are claiming your space with heightened sensitivity, knowing what is yours and what is not yours in your field allocation, daily field maintenance, building auric and energetic sensitivity, commanding your space with breath, intention, and shielding, different kinds of tools you can use. And I'm not sure how much of that we're actually going to get through, but that was my intention for this video. So we'll see how much we can get through without it being too lengthy. Let's dive into it. So claiming your space and heightened sensitivity. So there is this word empath that many people know about, empathic, being sensitive. For a long time, it was kind of deemed towards women to be a kind of, weakness or something that we don't really want. However, many people are born with this sensitivity, with this empathy, feeling what other people are feeling, not really knowing where the lines should be drawn between self and others. Feeling really frazzled, introverted around people, like you don't really want to get up in other people's business, or being around people is very draining. So this is essentially a sensitivity to other people's fields. You're feeling what is going on in their space, and sometimes that can be a lot on sensitive people because you are absorbing, you are pulling that in, you might be feeling it deeply, and there's a lot that our bodies and our emotions need to process when we start engaging with stuff like that all the time when we're highly sensitive. So when you're highly sensitive, it is a gift, and that is what we are rewriting, as healers, as energy workers. When we start claiming our space, we are reweaving and connecting the dots between empathy being a superpower. Especially as a light worker or an energy healer, if you offer sessions to people, that is such a superpower. Like, it's just an aspect of being in closeness and being able to tell how somebody's feeling, even if they don't tell you, and allowing yourself to hold space for other people is a very beautiful gift, that empathic people are prone to, and sensitive people are prone to, is that you want to hold space for others because you know how they're feeling, and it almost hurts you when other people are hurting. It's a very, that's where the blurred lines come in, where we need to know, okay, this is my space. I can't take everything on for you all the time. That's yours. And this is essentially what claiming your space is. So this is the principle, is that claiming your space essentially means that you decide what is yours and what is not yours, and that you're not willing to let yourself be drained constantly by other people's inflictions or hardships or pains. You allow yourself to be filled with what you're going through. And when we are doing energy work on ourselves or on other people, we are feeling that deeply, what they are going through, what they are feeling. And then immediately as that session is over, immediately once you are done with that person, we have to know how to claim our space once more. So this really connects into, daily field maintenance, which is going to be the next topic, but I'm going to lightly tap into that because claiming your space is essentially building, and this is another topic, and we're kind of melding them together, is building energetic and auric field sensitivity. So there is this beautiful meditation done by Dr. Joe Dispenza where he describes how you need to, and how all people should start feeling outside of themselves. Start projecting your energy outwards. To start feeling stuff that is outside of you. Start sensing if you can feel, like I have a plant over here, and when I tune into that plant, I can feel it. I know, like, there is an energy that comes with that sensation, and my nose is like, I feel like I want to sneeze. So I'm not saying that I want to sneeze because I'm connecting to the plant, but there is an energy that comes forward, and there was a lot of joy that came forward in connecting with this plant. It is very easy to feel around you once you get used to it, and to start noticing that maybe the way you've been feeling is actually somebody else's feelings and maybe somebody else's hardship or issues or whatever they're moving through. Maybe it's actually not you, maybe it's them. And when we realize that we are feeling this, but we don't know that we're feeling it, and once we realize that is it's not me, that could be actually something outside of me that I'm feeling, then we allow ourselves to start creating commandership and powerful realization inside of, okay, what is me? And how can I control what I'm connecting to and coming into communication with and feeling? So how we can do this, and you can write this down as something to practice. I highly recommend you practice this if you want to start building sensitivity to knowing what is you and what is not you, is you can come into meditation and close your eyes and allow yourself to tune inwards. And as you tune inwards, you start to build sensitivity to inwards. What is inwards? What is it that I'm feeling inside? And when you start becoming aware of what you are feeling inside, you can push your energy also outwards. If you are in a group setting, if you are in a space alone, start pushing your energy outwards and see if you can almost feel the air and the energy of the air around you. See if you can start literally sensing it. And if you have plants in your room, see if you can push your energy so far outwards that you can feel that plant. And once you do this, see if you can retract it and then touch it again with your sensitivity, with your feeling. See if you can feel it and then move away from it. And as we start practicing this and practicing sensing outwards, we allow ourselves to become aware of what we're interacting with. We need to know what we're interacting with, because when we don't know what we're interacting with, we can easily be violated energetically, or have things come in that are very sharp and harsh and painful for the body. Or if you're sensitive to your field, that are entering your field, and you don't know what they are, but they cause a hardship, or they cause a fear or anxiety or stress to come in, but we don't know where that's coming from, so we assume it's self. When we start realizing that everything is actually interacting around us, and that we can be completely whole and sacred and safe inside of our space. And this is also in regards to, having an auric field and an energetic field, and knowing that we are protected inside of our energetic field, and that we can be completely solid, completely shielded from anything entering our space that we do not want to enter our space. So it would basically be bouncing off of it, because we do not consent to that entering our space. And that is completely perfect. That is something that we can command. That is something that you are inherently allowed to claim. There's nothing wrong with claiming that. That is your creatorship. That is your power. That is you becoming clear. And this is me, and this is not me. So another way that you can also sense outside of you is that you it's so hard to I want to make this as clear as possible, because I know that it can be very nuanced. But if you are familiar with atoms, everyone knows about atoms, right? Like, they're everywhere. So if you feel that you are filled with atoms and that you are matter, and then you push that feeling of self, that feeling that this has energy, that I have sensation inside of this body. Everything outside of you also has sensation. Everything outside of you also has matter and atoms and energy vibrating very quickly around you. We can start feeling that. That is it's such a cool superpower, because I want to dive deeper into this in other videos, because when you start becoming aware of energies outside of you, it's easy to accidentally connect to something that you might not want to. Per se, you're walking down the street downtown and you make eye contact with someone and you start connecting to their energy, and you're like, ugh, I don't like that. I don't like that energy that they're in. Maybe they're angry or connecting to something really nasty. You don't want to interact with that, because you're allowing that into your space, right? So, yeah, knowing what is yours and what is not yours, you are allowed to claim your space. And this is very much so connected to the next topic of daily field maintenance. I highly, highly recommend that everybody does daily field maintenance. Essentially, daily field maintenance is you doing very light, very easeful work on yourself every day. And this is a game changer, because once you start doing it, you really don't want to stop, because you feel good, you feel clear, you feel connected to self. And this is very similar to meditation. And you do enter meditation when you do this, because you have to release the external to-do lists, the energies around you. You have to come inwards and allow yourself to become aware of what you're interacting with mentally, emotionally. There are energy cords that can be connected from person to person, from person to place, from person to location, from person to past self, from person to past life. These are energy cords, and these energy cords can pull energy out of us. So if you are very social and you're around a lot of people all the time, but then when you're by yourself, you just feel drained, or something is just being taken from you, or you don't feel whole, or you don't feel energetic and solid, that might have something to do with an energy cord that is being connected to somebody. And this is never intentional. People aren't normally plugging, energetic cords into you and trying to siphon your energy. However, because we are energetic beings, when we interact with somebody, we do have a connection that is made. Connection, when you make a connection with someone, that is literal, energetically. You are making a connection with someone, and that cord doesn't really break until we very intentionally decide, I'm good, I'm done with that interaction. You can go on your way, I'm gonna go on my way. And we need to be aware that sometimes our energy, if they are struggling with something, If they see light in us somewhere that they want, if their energy field wants it, this is not them being malicious. This is not anybody wanting to take something from you. It oftentimes is subconscious, it is energetic, and it comes from a wounded place of themselves. So they can connect to your heart, they can connect to your mind, they can connect to your womb, they can connect to your sexual energy, any part of you that they like, that they want to connect with because it makes them feel good, they can put a cord in there and they can connect to you. And when you depart from that interaction, they can still be connected to that. It doesn't break because you leave, because as spiritual beings, as energetic beings, there's no bounds. There's like, things don't work linearly where it's like, oh, that cord is getting too thick in the physical where it would snap and break off. That cord is etheric, and that cord can travel the lengths of time and space. When you're interacting with people, we need to make sure that we're cutting cords at the end of the day. I highly recommend, if you leave the house, if you come back into your place and you feel frazzled, cut those cords with the location you went to, with the people you talked to, with the images you saw. Cut those cords, claim your space, come back into self. Another aspect of daily maintenance, and as well with cord cutting, I recommend you do that like every day. If you leave the house and you have social experiences that you want to disconnect from, I highly recommend you do it then. This process can take 10 seconds, it can take 30 seconds, it can take a minute. It really just depends what you need at that time, but it is not lengthy. It's not a lengthy process. It's very much so an intention. And as you become better and better at it, you basically can just set the intention and commandment through your field that you're doing that, and it's very instantaneous. Another daily field maintenance that I highly recommend that you do, if you feel called to, is to become aware of your body. And this is very much so like Vipassana, like meditation, breath work, where you're just coming inwards and you're recognizing what self feels like. And when you do this, you can start to decipher what is not you, what is not wanting to be with you. Because energy is very intelligent, your body is very intelligent, and it will tell you, and it will bring it up, sometimes very harshly, what you need to deal with right now. So being on time with that is such a game changer, because you have so much more space, so much less frustration at self, so much less resistance to connect with self when you actually just start paying attention to what your field, your body needs. If you are tired and you tune inwards and you just feel tired, or you feel emotional, or you feel an ache or a pain in your body, actually allowing yourself to tune into that part and to start creating curiosity. Hey body, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on? I love you. And being curious with the body and seeing the body as a living being alongside you. Like, we're not a living being because we have a mind and we have mental thoughts and we create realities from this mind. We're a living being because we have a body, because we have experiences, because we have intelligence that lives very vitally through every cell in the body. So when you start connecting to this body and you enter meditation, you put your hand on your heart, and you, wherever you feel comfortable putting your hands, like, allow this experience to be so fulfilling for you, because this is your time. And this is basically you practicing what you want to embody in this lifetime. Like, are you allowing yourself to be fulfilled in the tiniest ways all of the time, even if it takes an extra 5 minutes? Allow yourself that, and allow yourself to be fulfilled. Place your hands where you want to. Play the music. Light the candles. I really love this idea of romanticizing life, or like allowing life to be as sacred as you want it to be, because it is that. And if that gives you joy, allowing yourself to experience that fully is so uplifting and enlivening. And that's why I practice spirituality, because it makes me feel like I am amazing and capable and connected to God and connected to everything, and that feels true for me, and that feels like it makes life worth living. It does. To me, that is why I got out of depression. The thought that I'm not connected to everything was so stressful and hurtful and harmful to my spirit. When I started practicing the qualities of shamanism, which is that everything is alive and everything has spirit, literally everything started to glow and take color and take shape and breathe. And I was like, how could I not be fulfilled with so much connectivity, with so much God around me? Sorry, that was off topic. So allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling fully, emotions, discordant energies, pain, trauma, allow yourself to really feel it, because you are allowing yourself to change your own life, to really alchemize. And then what we do, so you can do this for about 20 minutes to start is what I would recommend. I feel like if you push yourself and if you really set the intention that you want to change something and you want to be connected to self, I highly recommend at least starting with a minimum of 20 minutes. And that can be, I was going to say you could do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, but I actually really recommend you do it all at once. Because when you give yourself the time to really nestle into that space of self, like even for myself, if I've just been out for some hours and I come home and I start to meditate, it takes me like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to actually really deepen into my body, to really start feeling myself. Because your energy, once it starts being reminded, okay, we're here, we're present, stuff will come up, and stuff will continuously come up as we give ourselves the time and the space to feel comfortable enough to have those rocks or those bubbles rise to the surface. So yeah, give yourself like 20 minutes and just say, okay, I'm setting the intention to, move with myself, to feel myself. You can do spine movements, you can do stretching, you can sing, you can hum, you can touch the body, you can, whatever is fulfilling for you in that time, but set the intention that I'm going to feel myself. I'm going to feel myself for the next 20 minutes, and whatever comes up, I'm going to allow it to come up and show me what my body wants to show me. And this is the beginning of energy work. This is the beginning of you introducing yourself to energy, to introducing yourself to becoming embodied, feeling deeply what you need to feel this time. And it's not a race. I might make a video, if anybody feels called to listen about, like what I wish I didn't tell myself in the spiritual processings, because I've been in this journey for about 3+ years now with like very intentional healings, where I'm spending about 2 hours to 3 hours. At some points I was doing 4 hours of meditation a day on inner child healing, on inner self healing, of recognizing self. And it's not a rush. I wish I could tell myself, and I'm telling that to you now if you feel called to listen, it's not a rush to get to some healed point, because there's always going to be more. And the more gentle that you are with yourself, the more healing that you're going to experience. Because when your body feels safe, you can heal more. You allow your body to feel safe, and it's like when you're talking to a child, and that child needs to know that it's loved and that you care for it and that you're not rushing it or expecting a result. It will start telling you what it really wants to tell you. Because that safety allows for things to open up and to feel, okay, I'm safe now, I can talk to you. And that is very much so true for the body. It's why we experience, physical pain, illness, because the body gets so cramped in protecting itself that we literally like pull muscles and we get so tight and clamped. So offer that to yourself. I highly recommend 20 minutes. I highly recommend, so this is where, it can be not rushed, but expedited, is that the more time you spend on this, the more you're going to do. That's just how reality works. quantumly even, the more time you spend on something that you care about, the more energy you put into it, the more it's going to amplify, the more it's going to become something. So if you decide, I want to heal an aspect of self and I'm going to spend an hour today working on that, and you commit to it, that energy is going to become that much more healed or bigger or expanded. And that is always up to you. So I've had teachers recommend that I do 4 hours a day of inner child work, inner healing work. Is that a lot? Yes. But I healed my chronic anxiety from literally spending 3 hours a day meditating because I felt so safe with myself once again. I got off my prescriptions, I got off my medications. I felt so safe in my body meditating that much because I was here for 3 hours a day. And it changed my life. But you can also do 2 hours a day. At the point I'm at, I'm in a beautiful friend group who we kind of, I'm lucky enough to have people I work with who are close to me. And I believe that they would all recommend, 2 to 3 hours of meditation, healing work a day to really expedite your healing journey. If you want to, the thing is, as we heal and as we continue going through life and as these traumas keep coming up on a planetary conscious level, with The Sound of Freedom coming out, the movie about child sex trafficking and how horrific that feels to remember, to know that it's happening on the planet, more trauma comes up to be dealt with, to be loved, to be held. So it's not like, you have this amount and you're just trying to get it out. There is continuously going to be more added to it because we live on the planet that we live on that is healing unsurmountable amounts of hardship and stress and trauma. So yeah, it's not like you're gonna run out of things to do. You're gonna become more whole and you're gonna become better at healing. And at this point in time, I do about 2 hours of meditation a day, and that feels good to me. At some points I had to do 4 to feel like I was stable, but I'm at the point now where I can do 2 and still feel stable and still feel like I'm moving along in my journey. So it depends where you're at and what you need. But yeah, 2 to 3 hours is a really good basis if you want to be on this shit. You want to be I'm in this and I'm doing it. 2 to 3 hours is a good time. 20 minutes is a great starting time, like I talked about. But yeah, it's your journey. It's what you want to experience. It's how fast you want to go. It's what you feel you need. It's how you want to do it. I've even had teachers tell me, sitting down meditating, that doesn't have to be your experience with healing work every day. If you wanted to spend 3 hours of healing work a day, you could spend one of that 3 hours doing intensive journaling and asking yourself questions and contemplation. Is a beautiful way to incorporate that in if you don't feel that you can sit with yourself for that long yet. So yeah, you can make it what it is for you. Allow yourself to grow within that space, whatever that feels like for you. So I did mention in the beginning that, of course, these topics can be very in depth, and they can become very broken down into the aspects of themselves, and breath work or meditation or auric field sensitivity. What is the auric field? Light field work, what is the light field? There's so many aspects to this. So I am gonna leave a glossary that you can Google on. It's called Ascension Glossary, and it's by Lisa Renee, and I really trust her. I've been working with her energy work for a long time. To me, she's not the gospel. She's everything she says isn't 100% my truth, but I do like that she's put a whole lot of terms into basically a spiritual Wikipedia. So if there's anything you don't understand, please check out the link in the description if you'd like more insight on that. And as well, within these videos, if there's anything that I say that you want more in-depth conversation about, I can definitely tap into that. But yeah, I definitely recommend Ascension Glossary if you want to know more about like what is a light field, like what is an auric field, like what are dimensions, what is quantum, what is like, yeah, anything I talk about, definitely tap into that. The last couple things I want to talk about in this video is just some tools as you start venturing into like your 20-minute, or maybe it's an hour, however long you're wanting to start spending on your energy work. Like, what are some tools that you can really build into this practice? Like, what are you going to be doing in that hour, in that 20 minutes? What is it that you're going to be practicing? So, like I mentioned, I really recommend that you work on auric field sensitivity, noticing the sensitivity that you feel in yourself. Like, how am I feeling and what is around me? What is that like? What is the space and the energy field like around me? And some tools. Okay, so if you notice outside of you or in your auric field, maybe it's like right here that you feel it, how do you release that energy? Like, how do you push that out of your field? So one of the ways that you can do it is through commandment. This is spoken word. If you struggle with the throat chakra, if you struggle with speaking up or saying what you feel to be true, this might be hard for you. However, for some people, like they get it down easily. So commandment is basically a form of commanding your space, saying what you need and allowing that to be true. So it's like when somebody asks you something and you say no. That's a commandment. No, I'm not good with that. I don't want to do that. So you command that into your field. If you feel something in your space, you can talk to your field, you can talk to your body, you can talk to your multidimensional body, you can talk to your angels. Everything is listening. You are listening, which is why everything is listening, because we're in creatorship, we're in oneness. As you talk to this thing, you can say to it, I acknowledge that you're here, and I do not consent to you being here, and I ask that you leave now. And so as you say that, you might feel it start to leave. If it does not leave, you can say it again. You can start talking to it and like command even deeper that I do not consent to you being in my space. I do not consent to this energy being in my field. Like whatever you'd say to a person, if they were like in your space and you didn't like them there and you asked them to leave, if they didn't leave, how would you respond? Command your space, claim your space. This is my home. I do not want you in my home. Okay? So that's what you can do to energy that you feel in your field. You can talk directly to it, or you can basically just make like an overall statement. You don't have to be specific with knowing exactly where it is. You can just say, I do not consent to this negative energy. You can describe it. The more detailed you are with your description, the better your field will be at removing it. And again, you don't have to like be a super intricate, like you don't have to feel like you are doing everything in the space. Your field will do it for you. Your field will allow it to drop out for you because your field is listening and it's working for you. It's basically like how your body is doing everything for you, and we don't have to think about pumping our heart or breathing. Our body just does it for us. Your light field is doing the same thing. So when you talk to your light field and you ask it, this is what I want, this is what I need, your light field will be like, okay, awesome, like getting rid of that. So commandment is one way. Another way that I feel like you can interweave into basically everything that you do ever, and your body already naturally does this, is breath. So when you need something to be processed or let go of, it's like when you go into cold water and your body starts to try to alchemize to that cold water. It starts to hyperventilate because you're cold. That's your body trying to create coherence with that state to make yourself feel better. You can do that to your field. So I'm not telling you to hyperventilate to get rid of something. I'm letting you know that you can have a really deep exhale when you want to let go of something. And you naturally will. When you let something out of your field, you will naturally have a very relaxed Exhale because it feels nice, because it feels relieving to have something leave your field. But you can also do that with breath. You can push something out of your space with breath. I do this a lot in energy work, because I'll go, and you're basically just like helping your field get rid of it. You're just like giving your field a little hand and creating space for yourself. You can also move your hands like how I'm doing. Like, basically, this is the permission slip to express yourself and to allow that expression to make space. If you need to literally like push it down and out of your space, do that. Also, shaking your hands, this is how energy moves out of your body, is shaking. So when you shake your hands and you shake your body, yeah, there are so many tools. Shaking your body is such a beautiful way to move energy out of your field, to get rid of what is not yours, excess energy, which also oftentimes causes painful points in the body if you have excess energy somewhere. This is what I learned in Donna Eden's energy medicine course, is that excess energy causes pain in your body. So when you feel painful spots, it might just be way too energized, and you might just literally need to tap it to get that energy out. Or you might need to shake, or you might need to jump, or you might need to dance or twerk, or whatever it is that you need to do to get that out. Do it. You are totally allowed to do that. There are also more intensive forms of shaking, like tremoring. It's like a trauma release exercise is tremoring. So you can Google that if you have trauma that you want to release and you feel like this shaking protocol feels good to you. It's like how animals shake when they're anxious and they have a traumatizing experience. You can do that. You can do that whenever you need, and you should be doing that whenever you need. You are allowed to. Another thing is tapping. So tapping on specific points in the body is really good. There is something called EFT tapping that I highly recommend you check out if you feel called. This is really good for trauma release. So if you are interacting with your field and you've had a hard day and you don't really want to tap into your body, you would rather watch Netflix, or you'd rather watch YouTube, or go do whatever it is that you do to distract yourself, you can instead come inwards, and if it's too much to bear, like shake to get that energy moving, or you can tap. So there's specific points. One of them is on the forehead, one of them is here, the upper lip, the lower lip, the collarbones, the thymus, and then under the arms is also a good one, and then also the top of the head. So but you can also be intuitive with this. That is what EFT tapping, I think his name is Nick Ordner. That's what he recommends. There are specific spots that he recommends, and his partner recommends. So that's another tool that you can use. And then the more you get into things, like you can start working with light. This is actually a very pretty simple tool that you can use to start creating space in your field and to start allocating your field, is using light. So it's like color. You see color, and color has geometries within it. It has energetics weaved into it. It has information. It has a lot of stuff in it, but keeping it simple, light can help you facilitate clearing out your energy. It's like if you imagine someone blowing something and it moved, like the leaves of a tree and some stuff fell off. That's basically what light clearing does, is that as that wind of color comes into your body, it washes what you don't want there away. So you can set intention with this. And because we are the commanders of our reality, because we are creating and commanding our body, our temple, our home, our space, you can basically use that water, that wind of color, and you can say out loud or in your head that I'm allowing this to clear out any density in my body, any heaviness, any fatigue, any illness. Anything that you're wanting to get rid of, you can really be in your creatorship and allow and ask that this is done for you. And you can allow that color to go anywhere. You can spiral it into places. You can allow and ask that this water and wind is continuously recycled, renewed, and brought back into the body as you clear out. And then, yeah, you can play with that with any color that you want for as long as you want. And it's very important after you do stuff like this that you are sealing yourself and shielding yourself, and making sure that if you're using color from higher dimensions, if you're using color, please make sure that you are using color and light from the 12th dimension or higher. We don't want to be interacting very much so with the astral planes, because that is a free-for-all type of energy. There are lower dimensional entities that can hang out in the astral, pretend to be somebody they're not, play the trickster. I highly recommend you watch my last video on white light, because that talks about how different colors have different frequency bands and how they interact with your field differently. So when you are using color, please make sure that you are commanding out loud with your voice or in your head, or you can also, as you become more sensitized to it, just become aware that that is what you are doing, is that you are connecting with the 12th dimensional light bands, light frequencies, light geometries, and higher. And that as you pull these into your space, that they are only clearing what is good for you, what is within your highest will and way at this time. And as you, when that is done, and when you are done your field work and you feel sealed up and you feel content, make sure that you are sealing your space. So we can seal our space by imagining and witnessing a beautiful egg. People like to use eggs, spheres of light surrounding them, and they are impenetrable to anything that is not source. Anything that is not the one true living God cannot enter that space. You can also command and set the intention. You can there are many numerous ways. One of them as well is that you can zip up your light body, is what I've seen Donna Eden do when I did her courses. So you go from basically your pelvis, and you imagine that you're basically zipping up to your mouth, your light body, and then you go from the back and you zip up your light body to here, and then you throw away the key, and then you're zipped. So it's like whatever feels comfortable for you. It's also coming through to share this. I love this. This is from Donna Eden as well. I learned it from her. She teaches about energy field work and auric fields, and this pattern, the figure 8, the infinity symbol, is very healing for the body. So if you want to clear your space at any time, I do this in the grocery stores, I do this around my friends and family, like I just do it whenever I need to. And you can do it around any part of your body that needs it around you. You can do huge ones going like this. The direction doesn't really matter. But this is also very naturally a healing symbol that your body works with. And when you draw it in your, like near you like this, you are interacting with your light body field. So your body will feel it. You don't have to like do it on your body. You can just do it right next to you and your body will feel that. Because again, your body extends beyond the physical into around you. So yeah, making sure that you're sealed up after your session, making sure that you're egged in. There's also something called the 12th dimensional shield, which I can share in the description again, which is a very powerful form of shielding. If you feel like you're kind of being drained by people around you, or energetically attacked, or you just feel like you want to make sure that you're solid in your energy, I highly recommend you do this shield work technique. To start, you can listen to the audio. It is like a 5-minute audio that you can listen to. I'll put it in the description, which will help you shield yourself completely, make sure that you're contained, you're sealed in your space. And yeah, guys, I couldn't get into like everything I wanted to because I don't want this video to be too long, and I wanted to give proper descriptions into everything that I did describe here. I hope that this was supportive for you and what you needed to hear and inside of your journey with energy work. And I wish you so much love. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Please let me know your comments and suggestions and questions below, and I will be happy to answer those for you. I wish you so much love, so much abundance. Please take care, and I will be doing more videos of these. This will be a series, so stay tuned for those. And yeah, much love to you.